Many people feel that if they even walk on the trampoline, the neck becomes stiff. Some people can bounce on the trampoline and they feel a stiff neck afterwards. There is nothing that loosens up my neck more than being on a trampoline. I love being on a trampoline. And the trampoline never lies. It shows you if you relax or if you tense when you're on it. There are many neck exercises. You can get them all in my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. There's quite a few of them. One is to roll from side to side. We've done it in previous engagements. It's a wonderful exercise. You can also roll on one side and roll from side to side on the ribs, roll on the other side, roll from side to side on the ribs, stretch your leg, and do the same thing here, stretch your leg, and you roll from side to side. I worked with several people, especially old people, and especially ladies who were weak and old, and they had terrible neck problems, and many times eye problems, so those are the ones who come to me. And it didn't matter how much manually I want to loosen up the neck. I can stretch it, massage it, chiropractors can adjust it. But the first thing that anyone needs to do to make sure the neck is loose is to strengthen the arms. Because if you don't have base of support, the arms are not strong. And I'm showing you especially light weights that I ask from many of my students to just have to move the arms in rotating motion while the body is really relaxed. It's also good to move the legs from side to side as we move the weights in rotating motion. And if you don't have weights at home, you could use fruits like melons, grapefruit, whatever is a little bit of a challenge for you. And we can move the arms with the elbows close to the ribs while moving the legs from side to side. We can move them with a little bit of distance while moving the arms in rotating motion, and farther. Oh, I need to move the pillow out of here. So, and farther. So again, we can put the elbows near and move in rotating motion. We can put it in the middle distance and move in rotating motion. And we can move it farther and move in rotating motion while moving the legs from side to side. What a good feeling it is. And then anybody who did it can feel how light the arms feel after doing that. Now, move your head from side to side and sense the range of motion that you have. Then stretch the arm and bring the arm all the way to the other side and then bring it back. So pay attention that we are stretching the shoulder in both directions. We're stretching right now the back, the trapezius, the rhomboids. Now we're bringing it to the other side, which means we're working the pectoralis muscles, the chest muscles. And again, we're looking at the hand and we are stretching the arm all the way, one beyond the other, and then bringing it back while still looking at the hand that is in front of me, like the right. Now I'll be looking at the left hand and bring the arm beyond it, and I will move from side to side. So what we did here, we strengthened our arms, loosened our elbows, stretched the shoulders which connect to the neck, and roll from side to side. And those are wonderful neck exercises. And as you know, we say basically that the neck and the shoulders are connected. What we did today is we talked about the relaxation of the neck. It's so important to relax your neck. If you feel that you have ringing in your ears, it's a sign of a tense neck, plus some problems in the ears. If you have glaucoma, if you have macular degeneration, bleeding one, it's a sign of tight neck. We have to always think that the head goes up to the ceiling and each shoulder moves to the opposite side. But the neck must be supported by the rest of the body, by our feet, by our ankles, by our knees, by our hips, by our upper body, and also by the arms. And that's why we talked about strengthening the arms to support the neck. And as we work on the neck, and as the neck is being supported, it can only get better. And all of you can close your eyes and make the meditation. My head goes up to the sky. My left shoulder goes all the way to the left. My right shoulder goes all the way to the right. And I'm expanding. Life does the opposite. It makes us shrink. Gravity pulls us down, but if the body was even, it would never be pulled down. Hi everyone. I want to say that it is so important for us to loosen up the neck. As I said in the video, neck problems could lead to many other problems. Starting with strokes that can lead to permanent paralysis of the body, although we learn to help to reduce that paralysis and sometimes eliminate it, but it's dangerous. Continuing, and sometimes death. Continuing with most blinding conditions of the eyes. If you have stiff neck, you could have poor blood flow to the retina, and then you can have hemorrhage in the retina, and wet macular degeneration, and problems with the retina could lead to many problems. And yet, find for me somebody without stiff neck. I think out of the 8 billion people who live on Earth, maybe there are 5 people without stiff neck. I think that most of us, if not all of us, have a stiff neck. And the reason is the life that we live. I could not think about anything worse than what we do to create stiff neck. To begin with, looking at the phone, you muted it. Looking at the phone could be one of your things to create stiff neck. I'm watching so many people walking, and they walk and they look down. You have no idea how harmful that is. Eventually it leads to hunched back. And if it doesn't start in your 60s, it will start in your 80s. And there isn't enough blood coming to the head. Stiff neck is not a medical condition. In fact, if it was, then most of the doctors would, all of them would have that condition. They have stiff neck. I'm looking at Rosando sitting and looking at the computer. He does have a stiff neck. He looks like this. And so there's hardly anyone without it. What do we need to do? We need to do all we can do to balance the forces of life, to balance what forces us eventually to have stiff neck. There are many exercises in my book, Awakening. And until Tuesday, you can get it in an amazing discount. It by itself is not that expensive. $30 for 600 exercises and 400 illustrations. But now it's 20 and 10 and 5. There's ways for you to get it and get it as gifts to your friends. But we really need to unstiffen our neck, or else most existing problems are a result of a stiff neck. Few exercises to unstiffen the neck. Well, number one, have a seat and test your neck again. Move your head all the way to the shoulder. See if you can really touch your shoulder with your chin, or you find yourself cheating and bringing your shoulder up. So get the chin to the shoulder. Number 2, bring your head back and see if it goes back pretty good. Number 3, put your chin on your chest. Does it go there well? So you really have tested yourself pretty well, right? And there's much more to the testing, but let's try and work on it. Number 1, in terms of moving to the side, well, hold the back of your chair and move your whole body to the side so you look opposite of where you looked before. Don't see me, look at the wall. And again, do exactly the same thing. Move to the opposite side, and you see the opposite of what you've done before. And then see how it is to move your head. Okay? If it's hard for you to do this, well, stand up, look at the ceiling. Take 3 breaths, top of your chest. Loosen up a little bit the area near the clavicle. Pectoral minor. Then work on the pectoral major. But push the chest forwards. And in fact, you can help with your hand to push the chest forwards. Now have a seat and see how it is to move the head back. Next, if it's hard for you to bring the head here, well, few things. Number 1 is move the chest forwards and backwards and the shoulders back and forth. Move the middle back and forth. Move the abdomen and lower back. And bend and straighten. And see how it feels to bring the head here. But now I'm going to give you a few unexpected exercises. Number 1 is massage your scalp. Separate between the scalp and the skull, and we all need to do it. With the day, the scalp tightens so badly that it sticks to the skull. It sticks to your head. So try to undo it, massage, and separate the scalp from the skull. And breathe deeply. So you already had several concepts of working on your neck without even touching your neck. And now, see how it feels. How it feels. How it feels. How it feels. So there are a few things to do. Now remember what I said during the video. Some people have very weak arms. We don't lift as much. Some people won't even lift bags. And then if the arms are too weak, it's hard to loosen up the neck. There's so much more to talk about the neck. Remember we talked about the toes and the feet, that if you don't strengthen your toes and loosen up your ankles, you'll have stiff body basically, stiff ankles, stiff knees, stiff hips, stiff back and stiff neck. So we need to work on all of that. But to just make it really short for us, let's do 2 real easy neck exercises. So remember the meditation. You close your eyes, you don't have to see me. You think as if the head goes up to the ceiling. One shoulder moves to one side, the other shoulder moves to the other side. And your neck is stretching. And then you move the head in rotating motion in both directions. Feel how it is. Now, you sit on a chair, now tap on your belly and say, center, center. Say it out loud in your language. If you speak Spanish or Portuguese, say centro, centro. If you speak English, say center. Do it in your original language, whether it's Arabic or French or Hebrew, just say center, center, center. And now tap with your feet against the ground and keep saying center, center, center. And then tap on the legs against the ground and on your belly and say center, leg, stand. And sit down. Let's do it again. Tap and say center, center, center. Center, leg, center, leg, center, leg, center, stand. And sit down again. And by the way, how does it feel to move your head in rotating motion? How does the neck feel? Some people don't see any relief, but then some other people felt that they just visited the osteopath or the chiropractor. And so let's do it once more. Tap here and say center. Drop your elbows, relax your shoulders, and say center. Center, center, center. Tap your feet against the ground, tap, 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 and say center. center, center, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center. And have a seat. So move the head all the way in rotating motion in both directions. And we can move the whole body with the head in rotating motion in both directions. And one more exercise on your chair. And this is you put your chin on your chest. You slowly bend down until you touch the floor. Now keep putting your chin on your chest. Don't move it away. Stand up without straightening. Straighten your knees. Have your hamstring stretch. And only now you stand slowly up. Let's do the exact opposite. Put your chin on your chest. Slowly, slowly bend down. Let yourself bend down slowly. Curve slowly. Touch the floor. Sit down without straightening. Chin on the chest. And now lower back first, middle back, upper back, neck and head. And again, chin on the chest. Slowly bend down. Slowly bend down. Stand up with your whole body curved. And then slowly come up. And let's do it one more time. Chin on the chest. We slowly bend down. Slowly bend down. We sit. And then we slowly straighten. And breathe in. Chin on the chest. We bend down. We slowly stand. And now we straighten. So one thing that I want to say is it's important for us to separate between the upper body and the lower body. And it's important for us to loosen up our neck. So now let's nicely massage the neck. And open and close your jaw with your hand. And just like we massage the head, massage the face. You close your eyes, you put one hand under the other, you massage the face nicely. And again, massage your head. Separate between the skull and the scalp. The skull and the scalp. You have to understand that whenever your head bends down, there's a tremendous effort not only to bend it down, but to straighten it up. Very few people can put an item on the head and be sure that the item doesn't fall from it, like my phone, or a plate, or anything else. And we know that ancient cultures used to put even heavy load on the head and stand really straight while doing it. Gravity only pulls us down, but we in the modern world do everything we can to shorten the neck. And while you don't call those things medical conditions, they lead to medical condition because when you shorten the neck, the arteries get squeezed and not enough blood gets to the head. And from there you have most eye problems, most hearing problems, from ringing to the ears to loss of hearing, most brain problems, most senility problems. Only 8% of the people who become senile were born to be senile from the age of 75. 92% could prevent it with more blood flow to the head. So this session is short and I'd like to apologize. I have no idea why we were blocked from having more than 100 people on this Zoom talk. So I will do another Zoom talk, continuation of loosening the neck and loosening the jaw next week for that reason. And our apology to those who couldn't do it. We will be on YouTube. And remember, the sale finishes at the end of Tuesday of next week. And I'm looking forward to see you all. I'm going to celebrate this Monday, my 66th birthday, with my new driver's license, and I cannot tell you how excited I am that I have that ability. People thought I should not be crossing the street without a seeing eye and a cane. And right now, people are joking about me driving, like they're saying that bumps on the roads are braille for blind drivers. All right? I'm happy to be a blind driver. And if you see me, stay out of my way. Nevertheless, I'll get there. So nice seeing you all, and I'm ready for questions and answers.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's people messaging happy birthday and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and use the raise hand.
And again, I'd like to apologize to all of you who have to see me on YouTube that missed this session. I'm really sorry. I have no idea what's the technical reason that didn't allow us to see more than 100 people today. We should have seen the regular 190 or 200. So my apology to them in advance. Okay. I'm happy for those who came to this meeting.
Anyways, okay, let's get started. Chamsi, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Nice to see you.
So nice to see you again. When you did the exercise where we were bending from the first the chin and then you go down, I have a glaucoma and I have a very stiff neck, so I was really happy because it's better than before the session. I really feel much better. It's still a bit stiff, but my doctor said that I was not allowed to, because I do a lot of yoga, to do anything with the head down.
And every glaucoma specialist will tell you exactly that. Shani, I really wish you were here so I could massage your neck and loosen it further.
Thank you. I'm dreaming of it. I will visualize it.
Yes. What I want to say is that they are wrong and they all say it. I think that you need maximum movement of the neck in order to bring more blood to the eyes, and that blood will reduce the pressure each time, I think, by about 3 or 4 points. So do it in a wise way. Take a nice long walk, stretch your whole body, and only then move your head. Now, I met somebody in Italy. I was teaching classes at Giorgio Place. These days I'm doing it with Maurizio when I go to Italy, but I used to teach classes through Giorgio there. And there was one lady who met me and she just did one thing, and this is moving ahead in rotating motion. And until then, her pressure escalated and she lost peripheral vision. And just for doing this movement, she was able to maintain her pressure solid, not increase the number of drops, and keep the vision as it was. And so I can tell you, my daughter had a pressure which was on the border. And then it went up to 30. You know, 10 to 20 is normal, 20 to 30 is high, 30 and above is too high. And we were able to maintain for 2.5 years her pressure is normal. It was wonderful. We worked a lot on her middle back, loosen up her neck. And one day she told me, Daddy, my neck is loose and I don't have pressure. And it went down by 5 points in that visit. But eventually the pressure went so much up, it went to 36, that I even gave up and said, okay, take the drops. And then she on her own stopped taking the drops. And there was psychological reason why it went up. There was a divorce and a teacher humiliated her in class. And then the next year, things were much better. And she also took singing lessons. So you can see how it loosens up the face, loosens up the neck. She sang so much, I had to take her to 2 singing sessions a week. And I closed the door to her room because she yodeled all the time, as she was the main character in The Sound of Music. And then her pressure went down from 36 to 23. And because she has a thick cornea, 23 is like 20. So from being dangerously high to being in the border. And she didn't take drops since, and her optic nerve is perfect, her vision is perfect, and she was born with cataracts and had surgery in an infancy. And her eyes are better than anyone who ever was born with cataracts, except for her brother. Wow. He also was born with cataracts and is doing
even better visually. So I'm telling you, pay attention to what they tell you in terms of the pressure. Pay attention to what they tell you in terms of the periphery. Don't pay attention to anything else. You probably know better.
So if I'm standing up and bending and putting my hands down and being in this position, they say
I'm not talking to you now. You're wearing your glasses.
I
Not
took
talking to you. By the way,
you.
you're very pretty. I like to see you without your glasses.
Okay, if I'm standing and then I'm putting my hands like a V down, like my hands down, blood comes into the neck and the head, and this is okay?
I think it's more than okay, and I think what you need to do first is to massage nicely first,
okay,
and then maybe deeply the connection between the neck and the skull. And
okay,
then you create opening for the vessels. What happens is some people bend and they have pressure in their cheekbones because there isn't enough blood that is coming to the eyes. So first of all, you want to massage the base of the skull and how the blood gets into the head. Then the bending makes more sense. So in a way, you listen to them, in a way you don't. There could be people with narrow blood vessels where the blood is trying to enter, but the door is closed because the blood vessel is not open enough. So that's why the massage we did in the scalp and the good massage you can do in the base of your neck can really make a big difference of how the blood can go to your head and make a difference.
good. In your book, because I have your book, but I have it on Kindle, which part of these exercises should I do? Is there...
So work on the spine chapter,
Yes.
work on the joint chapter, and work on the breathing chapter.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
And
Yes.
I would suggest to have the copy, especially now that we're selling it for so cheap, because you want to see the illustrations.
Yeah, this is the problem. But since I'm living in Switzerland, the cost to send it is so high.
It's too high. It's way too high. Yeah, I understand.
So this is why I took it on Kindle. You don't have download versions I could buy of exercise you're doing, like the ones you did for us? Does it exist?
We don't yet. This one is going to be for free anyway, but we don't yet. But we definitely have already one workshop which was called Self-Healing Through Movement and Natural Vision Improvement that you can download.
Okay, good.
And we also are going to have a workshop on October 4th with East West Bookshop, which is also going to be called Self-Healing Through Movement and Natural Vision Improvement. So I will be glad to see any of you there. So yeah, you already can download, but we will have to do one day a workshop just for the body. In fact, I could do a whole day just for the shoulders and neck, I can tell you that. But we have a good start to this. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's ask, this is from the chat. This is from Fabrizio from Italy. He wrote, "Hi, Meir, I have 2 questions for the Zoom event. The first one, can we say that back neck posture is one of the most important causes of high eye pressure and consequently impacting on glaucoma and optional nerve health?" And optical, sorry. You put optional, that's right. Number 2, which is the best pillow to allow a good sleep and the absence of tensions in the neck? Thank you, from Fabrizio from Italy.
Fabrizio, I love you. You're a great guy. And I spoke with Jean today. She likes you very much as well. There is no question that stiff neck is the main reason for glaucoma in my mind. Because if you look at what glaucoma is high pressure of the eye that leads to destruction of the optic nerve and a weak optic nerve. Look at this. My daughter had 36, pressure of 36, and nothing happened to her optic nerve. I met a person who had 60 and his optic nerve was okay, which surprised me because anything above 30 is dangerous. And some people lose the vision at 28 or 26. But low tension glaucoma is another thing that basically the optic nerve degenerates even if you have pressure of 15 or less. And then When they reduce the pressure, they cannot guarantee that you will not lose your optic nerve anyway. I think that the pressure is an issue, but poor blood flow to the optic nerve is a bigger issue. And if you already have weakness in the optic nerve, poor blood flow to the optic nerve will cause a problem. Combined with pressure is a problem. Now, how do you get poor blood flow? Have problem with the vessels near the optic nerve, but mainly have, first of all, problem in your neck. If you have problem in your neck, it's like people used to do this, kids used to do to each other what they call Indian burn, where they would squeeze the forearm. Let me do it to Rosanto. Stand up, I'll do it, you know, until there's pins and needles. They used to do it to each other, yeah? And that's exactly what the neck is doing to the head. Not enough blood gets there. Pillow is different from person to person. Some people like it without a pillow. Some people like it with a pillow that raises the neck a little bit up. In general, it's very personal. I think that sleeping on too high of a pillow is a problem. And sleeping on a little bit lower pillow is good as long as the head stretches. But it will take me time to form my opinion about it because I've seen many pillows causing all kinds of different results. So you could consult, you can advise people whatever pillow you feel is right. But I would say that for myself, I think we all need a pillow, but we don't need to have too high of a pillow.
Cool. Okay, and then here's a question. I think Diana wants to ask a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Diana.
Yeah. Hello, Meir. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you.
Me again. I'm always here. Thank you.
Anytime, but I don't want to talk to you before you take your glasses.
Thank you.
Now I'm looking at a very pretty woman. Go ahead.
I have a question that when I move my head downwards or from one side to the other very abruptly, I see like twinkling or blinking lights, you know, and I don't know if that's a question of stiff neck or low pressure.
First of all, I'm looking at your neck and it's very stiff. So there's no question about that. The second thing is, I'm happy I forced you to take your glasses off for a moment. The second thing is, don't move abruptly. You got to learn to move in a subtle way and in a gradual way. And your body tells you don't move abruptly. Not only the neck, don't move abruptly any other part. I mean, move your whole body from side to side and do it like a dance. Do it like a gentle dance. And sometimes you got to put cold towel around your neck to loosen it up. Sometimes warm towel, especially if it's cold outside. Putting a warm towel is good, but if in the summer or right after summer, in the fall, put a cold towel and loosen up the muscles. There's, looking at you, there's no doubt in my mind that you have a mild inflammation in your neck and in your jaw that needs to be loosened up. And once you loosen that up, then the movement will make a big difference. So you really learn something. Abruptness does not work for you.
Okay. Another short question. And is it normal to hear noises inside oneself when we move or when we do some, especially with the
what happens is we have a lot of calcium accumulated. So when you break that calcium, so what you need is to work on exactly what I was talking about, getting the head, you know, I love it when I put my hand here because gravity pulls us down, right? So getting the neck to go up. In your case, a little bit more forwards, but up. That takes away the pressure. And the more you're going to expect, visualize each shoulder moves to another part of the world, visualize the head goes up. That will make the difference.
Yeah. Thank you so much. The other day, you know, I saw a picture of myself at 18. Now I'm 52. And at 18, I was in a picture like this all the time. And I've been like this all the time. So maybe that's the problem. So it will take me a long time to loosen up. But
first of all, you're a beautiful 52. And second of all, you have another 60 years ahead of you. so you have enough time to work and make things better.
Thank you so much, Meir. Thank you so much.
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, I would like to thank to all of you for being here. I'd like to apologize to everyone who we did not include. We didn't mean to. We thought we can include more people in this, and somehow Zoom allowed us only 100. And I will meet you next week, loosening the jaw as a way to loosening the neck and bringing more blood to the eyes. Thanks.